The first event, event 11, the Cinco 1.
It's 3 rounds of 5 deadlifts at 265 pounds, followed by 5 weighted one-legged squats on the left leg, and then 5 on the right leg, holding a 35-pound weighted kettlebell, and then finishing it up with 80 feet of handstand walking.
Time cap on that event is 7 minutes. We'll then rest 1 minute after that, and then we go to event 12, the Cinco 2.
Another 3 rounds. This time it's 5 muscle-ups and then 5 deficit handstand push-ups, then finishing up with 90 feet of overhead walking lunges with a 100-pound axle bar over their heads.
Time cap 7 minutes on that one as well. Sam Briggs, the overall leader. She has 772 points. If she scores 135 points over these next 2 events, there is no way anybody can catch her, and she will be crowned the fittest woman on earth. You get points determined on where you place. The highest placing woman in this event gets 100, and so on and so forth down the line.
So that's you?
All right.
That's all you talking about Sam? I don't have anything about Sam then? That's fine. Same thing. Okay. Oh, even Pacelli. So we're out with that? Sure. Yeah. Totally fine. Okay, that's good. I'm good with that. Keep this just in case then. That's good. Okay.
Hell yeah, man. Great way to finish it up. Good work, everybody. It's been freaking awesome.
One last time to have fun.
No team I would rather have than all you guys.
Oh, let's hug.
Garrett, can you make sure? Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Hey, Barney, I couldn't hear if you said to have fun or to not have fun. The athletes are about to come out, so that ain't going to happen, I don't think. CrossFit is an empirical fitness program created by Greg Glassman in Santa Cruz, California, that both defines fitness and the means to achieve it. Over the past 12 years, CrossFit has exploded from a single warehouse gym into a family of 7,000 affiliate boxes across the globe. CrossFit workouts are timed, scored, and ranked, always, so it was inevitable that the question, who is the fittest on earth, would arise. Thus, the CrossFit Games were born. In 2013, this demand for international competition brought together 138,000 athletes from over 84 countries. The top men, women, and teams moved on to one of 17 regionals. 4 weeks of semifinal events spread around the world. From the horde, 47 men and 44 women distinguished themselves.
After 3 days of grueling competition, now the women face the last event. The absence of last year's top 2 finishers created a power vacuum that Sam Briggs is determined to fill. The firefighter from Manchester, England has risen to the hype so far. But newcomer Alessandra Pacelli stole the show in legless, and her consistency is giving Briggs no room to breathe. Coming on strong are powerhouse Lindsay Valenzuela and easygoing Val Voberl, who's looking to improve on her 3rd place finish from 2010. The women's race was wide open from the start, and one more event will determine the fittest woman on earth.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the StubHub Center in Carson, California for our live coverage of the 2013 Reebok CrossFit Games. I am Sean Woodland alongside Tanya Wagner, and we are set to crown the fittest man and fittest woman on earth. And we start with the ladies. We are through 10 of 12 events, and England's Samantha Briggs sits on top of the leaderboard, but Alessandra Pacelli, Lindsay Valenzuela, and Valerie Voberl all trying to chase down the woman from England.
Here we go in lane 10, currently in 10th place from Brisbane, Australia, Kara Webb. In lane 1, in 9th place from Seattle, Washington, Rory Zambard. In lane 9, in 8th place from Miami, Florida, Anna Tunnicliffe. In lane 2, in 7th place from Naples, Florida, Talena Fortunato. In lane 8, in 6th place from Washington, D.C., Christy Phillips. In lane 3, in 5th place from Houston, Texas, Jen Jones. In lane 7, in 4th place from Los Angeles, California, Valerie Voberl. In lane 4, in 3rd place from Moore Park, California, Lindsay Valenzuela. In lane 6, in 2nd place from Orinda, California, Alessandra Pacelli. Lane 5, in 1st place from Manchester, England, Samantha Briggs.
Samantha Briggs has 2 events left to go if she wants to hang on to be crowned the fittest woman on earth. She will work in lane number 5. 2 back-to-back events, the Cinco 1 and the Cinco 2.
First, these ladies will see 3 rounds of 5 deadlifts at 265 pounds, followed by 5 weighted one-legged squats on the left leg and then the right leg while holding a 35-pound kettlebell, and they will finish this up with 80 feet of handstand walking.
7-minute time cap on that event, a 1-minute break, and then we get going on event 12, the final event, the Cinco 2.
3 rounds of 5 muscle-ups and then 5 deficit handstand push-ups, and they will finish this event with 90 feet of overhead walking lunges with a 100-pound axle bar overhead.
Samantha Briggs currently sits in first place overall. If she scores 135 points, she wins. We are underway, the 3rd and final heat of the 11th of 12 squad events here at the 2013 Reebok CrossFit Games. The Cinco 1, the time to beat, belongs to Canada East Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet at 6:47.8 seconds.
We are already seeing 2 different styles. Some women holding on to the deadlift bar while others are choosing to break up those deadlifts and drop one at a time.
Right now it's Lindsay Valenzuela who currently leads. She's already through her first round of deadlifts and now through 5 of her 10 one-legged squats. That kettlebell these women are holding, 35 pounds. And there's Lindsay Valenzuela, the hometown favorite, who came in 3rd place overall, trying to make it to the podium here at the CrossFit Games.
There's a lot of strength, a lot of technique involved in those weighted pistols that you just saw.
That barbell weighs 265 pounds. Lindsay Valenzuela, one of the more powerful athletes in the field, and she is having no trouble moving that weight here in round 2.
Lindsay Valenzuela has a 395-pound max deadlift, so to her that weight is not as heavy as it is to some of the other women.
And now back to the one-legged squats. Meanwhile, it's Christy Phillips who sits in 2nd place. Phillips came in 5th place overall. At one point, she actually was in 1st, but that lead was short-lived, and now Christy Phillips trying to make her way back into the top 3.
I ran into Christy earlier right before the announcement of these events, and she was just hoping that the director of the games, Dave Castro, was going to give her something that she could be competitive with, and both of these events, she should do just fine.
Time to beat in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. It belongs to Elizabeth Akinwale, who demolished this event. Valenzuela is your overall leader. She's on the left of your screen. On the right is Christy Phillips, who currently sits in 2nd. And then in the all red on the left-hand part of your screen is Telena Fortunato, who is now in 3rd place. And it's Phillips and Valenzuela trading the lead. And now Christy Phillips is the first athlete back to the 265-pound barbell.
Sean, in 2010, there was a similar event. It was a deadlift, one-legged squat, and double under event. And Christy took 2nd place in that event. Now, the deadlift weight was only 205 pounds at that time. We've added 60 pounds to that bar, but she is still proving that this is a great combination of elements for her.
10 more one-legged squats for Christy Phillips. Then she'll have to kick up onto her hands and walk 80 feet before crossing the finish line. The winner of this event gets 100 points in the standings. 2nd place gets 95, 3rd gets 90, and then it gets fewer and fewer points as we work our way down the standings. That's how far those women need to travel on their hands in this event. A 7-minute time cap and then a 1-minute rest, and then we get going on the Cinco 2, the 12th and final event. And Christy Phillips struggling a little bit, but still able to get that rep completed.
There's a lot of strength involved in this movement because they have the weight. Typically, we see one-legged squats that are just body weight. You have a lot more ability to balance having your arms out to the side wherever you need, but that weight really changes the whole ball game here for that movement.
On the right of your screen is Lindsay Valenzuela. She currently sits in 2nd place. On the left in the red pants is Telena Fortunato. She is in 3rd. Your overall leader, Sam Briggs, is now tied for 4th with the woman she's trying to hold off, Alessandra Pacelli. Christy Phillips is done, and now it's the 80-foot handstand walk. The time to beat has already passed. That gives you an idea of how quickly Elizabeth Akinwale was able to complete this event. And there goes Christy Phillips off on her 80-foot journey down the floor.
She threw the gloves to the side. She brought them out. These mats are hot. But she probably was more familiar without the gloves.
The entire crowd here at the StubHub Center on their feet as Christy Phillips works her way down the floor. Now it's Telena Fortunato trying to catch up with Phillips on that handstand walk. And Fortunato moving quickly. Christy Phillips in the lead, trying to hang on.
There's been a lot of races in the 2013 Reebok CrossFit Games events, and this is one on their hands.
Now it's Telena Fortunato passing up Christy Phillips, and Fortunato working her way towards the finish line. It's neck and neck. Fortunato in the red. Phillips, she's back on her feet, and Fortunato is going to take the heat into the somersault and over the finish line. Telena Fortunato wins the heat. 4:36.4 right now. She sits in 2nd overall after 3 heats. Phillips is in. Christy Phillips will finish in 2nd place, 4:46.9, and here comes the 4th grade school teacher, Valerie Vobro, across the finish line. Samantha Briggs, your overall leader. She's on her handstand walk. She just needs to hold off Alessandra Pacelli and Lindsay Valenzuela, and she is currently ahead of both of them. In lane 4, though, Lindsay Valenzuela on her handstand walk. She's trying to make it across the finish line. So Sam Briggs needs to put on a furious comeback here if she wants to finish ahead of Valenzuela in this event.
Sean, Sam Briggs suffered a knee kneecap fracture in 2012, which sat her out of the 2012 CrossFit Games. Those one-legged squats could not have been comfortable for her.
And Sam Briggs is now struggling with his handstand walk and falling back in the pack. Lindsay Valenzuela has finished. She got a time of 5:25.8. That was good for 8th overall in this event, and that will give her 71 points in event 11, the Cinco 1. And here comes Sam Briggs. Briggs is down again now in lane 6. Alessandra Pacelli is right there, so Pacelli can make up some ground. She came in 66 points back of Briggs. Pacelli and Briggs are neck and neck. Pacelli and Briggs. And it's going to be Sam Briggs hanging on. She's got to get across the finish line to stop her time. Sam Briggs crossing the finish line, but she took her time. That could have cost her some precious seconds. 6:10.7 for Sam Briggs. Right now, that is 12th overall, and Sam Briggs will score 63 points. Alessandra Pacelli is across. Pacelli, though, needs to cross the finish line to officially stop the clock. 6:28.1 for Pacelli. Jen Jones is in. 6:30.4 for her. We're approaching the 7-minute time cap. In lane 9, it's Anna Tunnicliffe. In lane 10, Carl Webb. Carl Webb in the white. Next to her is Anna Tunnicliffe in the yellow shorts. They are 2 of the 3 athletes still on the floor. In lane 1, Rory Zambard out of Seattle, Washington. She's trying to finish up inside the 7-minute time cap. There's a 1-second penalty for every rep you do not complete. The handstand walk counts for 1, and then crossing the finish line counts for 1. But it's Helena Fortunato winning the heat and finishing 2nd in event 11, the Cinco 1. After her, it's Christy Phillips, and then Valerie Vogelrel, who came in 4th place overall, trying to catch Lindsay Valenzuela. She was just 3 points back of Valenzuela. Helena Fortunato, though, she's someone who's known for being able to do these sort of out-of-the-box movements.
Yes, you see her grace there, rolling out of that handstand walk.
And Sam Briggs struggled a little bit on the handstand walk, but did what she needed to do, finishing towards the top of this event. We will rest 1 minute, and then we're heading towards the 12th and final event, the Cinco 2.
10 seconds. Stand by.
The final heat of the final event of the 2013 Reebok CrossFit Games is underway. Another 100 points on the line here. 3 rounds of 5 muscle-ups. That's what the women are on right now. And then 5 deficit handstand push-ups where their head actually passes below their hands. After that, they pick up that barbell on the right of your screen. It weighs 100 pounds and it's thicker than your usual barbell. They put that over their heads, and then they have to do walking lunges 90 feet to the finish line. Christy Phillips and Lindsay Valenzuela, currently the 2 women on their deficit handstand push-ups. Valenzuela's through 2. Christy Phillips, that rep didn't count because her feet came off the wall.
There's a couple things the judges are looking for. The athletes have to touch their heads to the floor. There is a 9-inch deficit here with those blocks. And then the athletes have to come all the way up with their feet touching the wall as their arms lock out to full extension.
The time to beat in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, that belongs to Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet out of the Canada East region. Samantha Briggs is someone who really worked on these body weight movements as she rehabbed her knee after that surgery.
She has very strong shoulders. We saw she cleaned up a lot of her technique over that year. She took a year off from her firefighting career to train specifically for this year's games.
Samantha Briggs, 1 more rep to go in her 2nd round, and she is currently your leader here in the final event of the 2013 Reebok CrossFit Games, the Cinco 2.
This is a lethal combination for the shoulders. Muscle-ups and handstand push-ups, let alone deficit handstand push-ups. When the deltoids fatigue, it is so hard to get that strength back.
Sam Briggs just got no rep, and she's got to take a sizable rest here to regain that strength, because you can run into disaster on this movement if you tire yourself out. The battle for the podium is between Alessandra Pacelli, Lindsay Valenzuela, Valerie Vogelrel, Christy Phillips, and Helena Fortunato, also within striking distance. And now Sam Briggs starting to struggle on those deficit handstand push-ups, and Helena Fortunato has overtaken her for the lead in this heat.
Now, Sam Briggs has not been known to take first on all of these events. She just has been placing high enough to the top and has been getting her enough points to be in that first place position.
You saw the fans with the Union Jacks around their neck trying to cheer on their fellow countrywoman, Samantha Briggs, the firefighter from England. Helena Fortunato, keep an eye on the top of your screen. That will update you as to who is leading. Helena Fortunato currently in first place. Fortunato is through 2 of her 3 rounds and now back on the rings in the red pants for her final round. Fortunato, she won the previous event, won the heat in the previous event. And now she's trying to go back-to-back here.
And last year she was 3rd place. She wants that podium back again this year, Sean. We saw a tremendous finish to her last year's games, battling out with a previous games champion, Kristen Clever. With the final pull-ups of last year, she says she thrives under pressure. Well, there is some pressure right now for her.
Helena Fortunato still your leader now. Lindsay Valenzuela has moved into 2nd place. Sam Briggs and Jen Jones battling for 3rd. Time to beat, 6:47.8 seconds. A lot of money on the line for these women. The winner, $275,000. 2nd place, $65,000. 3rd gets $35,000. 4th gets 10, and then it decreases by 1,000 on down to 10th place. The winner of the events also get $3,000. 2nd place gets 2, 3rd gets 1. Samantha Briggs working through her 3rd and final round of muscle-ups, and she is through. And now deficit handstand push-ups, which have sort of given Briggs some problems here in this event.
I'm surprised to see she went unbroken on those 5 muscle-ups. Unbroken meaning she held on to the rings for all 5. She looked nice and strong, was able to keep her grip.
Samantha Briggs currently leads Alessandra Pacelli by 72 points. She leads Lindsay Valenzuela by 99. If she can just avoid a blowout here, she will be well on her way to winning the 2013 Reebok CrossFit Games. Lindsay Valenzuela in lane 4, Samantha Briggs in lane 5 battling for 2nd. Helena Fortunato in lane number 2. Kicking off the wall and now moving to the barbell. So Helena Fortunato and Samantha Briggs trying to hold off Lindsay Valenzuela. Fortunato has that bar overhead, and now it's time for the walking lunges.
But we saw her shoulder strength and her ability to walk on her hands. Now we're going to see how well she does on those legs, stabilizing weight overhead. She has nice active shoulders, stabilizing the barbell. And now this is a lot of core strength right here. A lot of stabilization that she just was using in those previous 2 movements.
The time to beat is 6:47.8. If Lindsay Valenzuela can keep that bar aloft and keep this pace, she has a chance of winning the 12th and final event, the Cinco 2. Now Lindsay Valenzuela, who's trying to keep herself in 3rd place overall, she is on the overhead walking lunges. That bar weighs 100 pounds, and Lindsay Valenzuela is a woman who can handle heavy weight, and she's catching up on Helena Fortunato. Fortunato needs to get that bar up and above her head and start to move towards the finish line. Now Valenzuela has a break, so Fortunato will get to widen her lead now on Lindsay Valenzuela.
Valenzuela just got pulled back. She had to move back because she did a stutter step, and you are not allowed to have any forward advancement unless you are lunging.
Now it's Fortunato on the right of your screen, opening up a lead on Lindsay Valenzuela. Meanwhile, Jen Jones has passed Samantha Briggs. Briggs is through 3 of her 5 final handstand push-ups. The time cap here is 7 minutes, and Sam Briggs is getting dangerously close to not completing this event inside of that 7-minute time cap. But Helena Fortunato has her eyes on an event win here in the Cinco 2. 14 seconds for Helena Fortunato to get across the finish line. The woman they call the Spider Monkey. Looks like she's gonna do it. Fortunato, the bar is down, crosses the finish line, and Helena Fortunato has her first win of the competition. She beats Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet by a half second, so 100 points and $3,000 to Delana Fortunato. Now the overall leader, Samantha Briggs, is on the barbell, but she will not complete the event. But we'll have to wait for the official standings. Samantha Briggs needed to just avoid a disaster in order for her to be crowned the fittest woman on earth. She goes and congratulates Lindsay Valenzuela, the woman she's been training with for quite a while now.
She's been training with some elite top-level athletes, Lindsay Valenzuela being one of them, who has pushed her over this past year, has helped Sam get her to be where she is now.
Sam Briggs came in as the popular favorite to be crowned the fittest woman on earth. We await the official results, but it looks like Sam Briggs is bringing the title back to England.
She showed us consistency this week.
And it is official. Samantha Briggs is the fittest woman on earth. Samantha Briggs did not need to win any events. She just needed to hold on and avoid a disaster, and Sam Briggs wins $275,000 and is crowned the fittest woman on earth.
Your 2013 Reebok CrossFit Games champion, Samantha Briggs!
Samantha Briggs, the 2013 Reebok CrossFit Games champion. Lindsay Valenzuela will finish second, and the fourth grade school teacher, Valerie Vobro, by virtue of a tiebreak, takes third place. The women are done. Sam Briggs is the fittest on earth. Who will be the fittest man on earth? We will answer that question when we return to the StubHub Center in Carson, California.